Fire Force is one of my favorite animes of all time. It's hilarious, it's unique, it's got a lot of mystery, great characters, but despite how cool the characters are, there are three that fell very short of my expectations and a lot of other people's expectations too, just from, you know, the articles I've read and the people I've talked to. And in this video, we're going to describe how each of them fell short of expectations and why there's such weird characters in a story as great as this. First character we need to discuss is Captain Burns. When we first introduced to Captain Burns, he was this legendary figure, a man of immense strength, and our main character Shinra had a sneaking suspicion of Captain Burns of suspecting foul play in the demise of his mother and his brother in a fire when he was a kid. He believed that Captain Burns had something to do with his mother's death, whether he killed them, whether he knew more than he said in his reports. Something about that night was kind of off to Shinra. And despite that being a very strong narrative to the story, Shinra eventually confronted Burns, and Burns did actually know more than he initially said in his report. But once he explained it to Shinra, it just felt like they just kind of checked off a box because nothing really came from that entire plot line. If it were me and my entire family died in a fire and I grew up hating myself and believing that I'm the cause of my family's demise and my nickname is the devil, I'd be very fucking upset if there was someone who knew something about the murder of my family and did nothing to intervene with my emotional distraught. The issue with that is the story never slows down with that narrative, right? Like, this is a huge thing, like finding out more about the death of your mother and brother, or the death, you know, quote unquote. This is going to contain spoilers, by the way. I'm sorry if I you know, spoiled things, but yeah, like, we never really got this emotional payoff, right? Like, Burns kept his silence for some type of like religious extremist reason whenever Shinra confronted him, and he said, like, you know, stating something like the truth comes from pain and suffering is needed to experience God. And I don't know, I guess that said, like, that type of belief is said to come from his experience with the evangelist and why his eye is gone. I'm not entirely sure, but the problem also with that is Shinra never really got the time to even question who Burns really was, like, in the story, because I don't think the writer understood who Burns was or what Burns was, for that matter. Like, was he an anti-hero, a religious extremist? His motives kind of shift, like, depending on the arc that they're in. And it seems like every single season there's something new with Captain Burns. Like, he has like some new type of agenda and a new way of thinking, and his actions are not really explained very well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and break him down season by season. This is gonna be the longest character that we break down, because in my opinion, he's the most disappointing. All right. In season 1, Captain Burns' motive isn't so to stop or support the evangelist. It's kind of like he was like quietly observing the events and, you know, seeing what's unfolding before him, and is, I guess, waiting for God to reveal his grand plan of what he is to do. And then in season 2, he actively sides with the evangelist, even though he doesn't really have an exact reason as to why his motives change. If he was waiting for a sign to, I guess, intervene or to you know, come into the fold, what fucking made him do it, right? Like, we don't really get why he was just observing everything and was acting like mad sus for all of season 1, and then season 2 he's just kind of just fucking doing shit now. It's like, okay, well, why? Like, what's your reasoning for doing this? Then in season 2 as well, Burns started to like clash with Joker, and I guess he did that to test Joker in the same way that he tested Shinra, but at this point he's already in action mode. So why are you testing Joker in the same way that you're testing Shinra, and why are you even testing anyone at all? Because at this point, because you started acting, you're now should be in I mean, like, logically, right? You don't need to test people's strength anymore to see if they're worthy of whatever, especially because he already had a background with Joker. He already knew who Joker was. He doesn't need to test his strength. Like, he apparently knew Joker when Joker was like an orphan or something, right? And then I guess, like, after he clashed with him, he then was searching for the diary of the first pope or something like that, like the first person to survive the fire, or the cataclysm from a long ago. And my question is, why is he helping searching for the diary if he already knows the truth, right? Like, the whole point of the diary is to help kind of uncover the mystery. And if he already had a battle with the evangelist, why are you searching for the diary now for extra evidence? Like, I don't understand why he would, like, what's the point of fighting with Joker to prevent him from getting the diary, then getting the diary? Like what is that? I don't understand. But that was season 2. And then season 3, Captain Burns dies in this like anticlimactic like way. Why? Why are he just dies for no reason. And he just, I guess that's him fully submitting to the will of the evangelist. But I mean, look at the 3 character arcs. You in season 1, he goes from being passive and just observing everything. Season 2, he starts putting his plan into motion, whatever plan that was. And then season 3, he's like, well, nothing I do matters. It's time for me to be with the evangelist. Like, what? Like, and then he just fucking dies. Like, that was such a huge so I never questioned anything about Fire Force up until that point. I was like, okay, we're gonna get some huge payoff here. We're gonna understand his motives, right? Like, there has to be some good reason as to like why he's acting this way, right? I mean, he is literally like a fucking monumental figure in the story, considering he is the chief of the Fire Force 1 department. He has this like insane backstory, immense strength. He was connected with the evangelist, and then he just dies. And we'll see what they do for the next season. It's gonna be released in a couple days, but that is some weird fucking shit. And the worst part about Captain Burns, unless we're gonna get a flashback, we never really got to see him fight, right? He's this like insanely strong character that we never really got to see like any type of cool feature from him, right? Like, as soon as he died, I was like, man, like, is that it? Is that the legacy that we're being left? Like, he was objectively a cool character. Anyone with an eye patch is fucking cool, generally speaking. You got Captain Burns, who was really cool. Then you have Patches O'Houlihan from Dodgeball, and then you had Joker, who's fucking always covering up his eye or some shit too, right? Like, everyone's like, like, they're cool characters, but this one was just such a letdown, man. I never really understood as to like what he was in the story and what his purpose even really was, if I'm being honest. I mean, we didn't get any payoff of like the fire that killed Shinra's family. We didn't get any payoff as to him fighting anyone or being either an ally or an opposition to really anyone that mattered. And then he died in like an unclimactic way. This was like a crazy character arc. If you guys know better than I do, please, I'd love to hear it, because I want to appreciate his character more. It's just every time I think about it, I'm like still fucking confused. And well, you guys already, we talked about it already. Joker is the number 2 character that is one of the most disappointing characters in the entire show for me. And the reason being is Joker was introduced very early in season 1 as this mysterious, chaotic, wild card. We don't know what the fuck he's gonna do, some rogue gunslinger, right? And he's a really cool character. He's got a cool voice in the subbed version. He's very fucking raspy. He's always smoking a cigarette. He's pretty cool, right? And from the beginning, he's positioned as this rogue something operating outside of the system, right? And it seems like it was his goal to burn down the system in some way, right? He wasn't affiliated with the church. He wasn't affiliated with the fire department. He didn't have any affiliations with anything. So we would expect Joker to feel like he was this character to expose the truth of the world, the one that's willing to tear down everything and sacrifice everything to accomplish his goals. But the problem is Joker never really does any of that, right? And of course, we still have a little bit left to go, and I haven't read the manga, so I apologize if this is completely fucking wrong. But we'll see what season 3 holds, or season 4 holds, like I said, for Captain Burns. But Joker hasn't done shit, right? So his purpose was, at least what it seemed like, was truth at any cost. I mean, he was like gonna kill Shinra early on. He was fucking invading places like the pyramid, the fucking church or whatever. He's like invading it. And I don't know, like he digs into Adola, he searches for hidden records and diaries. He just knows about the evangelist and other characters. And he's framed as this antithesis of blind faith, right? And you'd expect Joker to do something in that nature, right? Like force characters to question their beliefs, or like, I don't even know, like actively destabilize the world order. Like he did kind of do that when he like teamed up with Benimaru and he basically invaded the church, like we said, to get, I believe it was the diary at that point. But after that, he still hasn't really done anything to like advance the story in any meaningful way. And then I also think that the relationship between Joker and Shinra was a very missed opportunity. It seemed like, so Shinra wanted to be a hero, right? I'm gonna be your hero. That's his goal. And Joker is like an anti-hero, right? So I feel like their beliefs should clash in some way, right? He should, Shinra is gonna try try to save a couple people in my head, right? Thinking of just the common trope, like Joker is willing to sacrifice like 1,000 people to save, I don't know, the world or something like that, right? And Shinra's like, no, we can't sacrifice 1,000 people. There's got to be another way. And then their ideologies clash. But we get to this like we don't. It's almost like they're the same character. They just Joker like drops hints or does something, and Shinra's like, okay, yeah, let's do that. But there's no like back and forth. It's like they don't have the same personality. So why are they like teaming up so seamlessly? It seems like, yes, their goal is to, I guess, save at that point, save Shinra's brother and then stop whatever it is that's happening with the evangelists. So I guess they don't really have time to question the narrative, but I think that's just a writing mistake. I don't, like I said, I'm not a fucking expert writer, guys. I'm just a bystander. But it seems like when you have these really high stakes and you have these characters that are rich and they have opposing philosophies, especially when it comes to something so deep, right? Like Shinra's core identity is him wanting to be a hero ever since he was a kid. So when you meet someone who is acting like a hero, but in a very fucking weird way by being an anti-hero, sacrificing people, killing people to get to his goal, shouldn't that come up in conversation like a couple times, mate? Like, I don't remember in the story one time them ever really having a disagreement other than when they first met and he didn't know who the fuck Joker was. He was just some guy trying to body him, right? In the tuning exams type of arc or whatever they did, right? And I don't know, man. It just seems like Joker, at least so far, could have been this guy to just destabilize the world and to illuminate dark places that, you know, the government or the Fire Force or the the Illuminati people, the Ironclad Knights or whatever, like didn't want him to expose, but he just hasn't done it. And it just makes me question. I'm like, man, like when are we gonna get some cool shit from Joker? When is he gonna do something in the story that matters? And how I feel about Joker is very similarly to how I felt about Captain Burns, where I'm intrigued. I'm leaning into my chair. Okay, when is he gonna do something? And then he's just gonna die. And we're like, oh shit, like okay, and then the next one. Okay, so that's Joker, right? The next one I think is gonna be the same thing, is fucking Benimaru, right? Benimaru is this sick fucking character. He is this like force. He's the strongest fire soldier in the entire world from what they said, right? Unless it's gonna be some power creep like they did in Naruto, where they say the third Hokage is the strongest, and then, well, no, actually the first Hokage is the strongest. I hope they don't do some shit like that, right? I'm hoping Benimaru is actually going to be the strongest character, fire force soldier, right? But Benimaru is this overwhelming force who feels like he's trapped in his own fucking village, right? Like he you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Blue Note from Fairy Tail, where he's so strong that they can't actually use him in the story correctly. Like the few times he's been in the story, he's pretty much just taken over everything. When he went with Joker to invade the church and he got hit with some poison and he just like got up. He was like, oh, well, like, whew, that poison could have killed anybody, but it didn't kill me. It's like, I don't, like, he's just too strong. So they fucking blew everyone out of the village or out of the church, like all of the secret, like Anbu Black, I keep referring to like other animes, I'm sorry guys, but they don't really explain this super well. But like the Anbu Black Ops force of the church, right? The assassin group of the church, they fucking kill all of them like super easily until they get to, I guess, the guy that raped Joker, and then there was a really cool fight with Joker with that, and then but it seemed like everything that happens with Benimaru, he's like constricted to not doing anything because he's too strong, and he might just overwhelmingly carry the story. But the problem is, since he exists and he's so strong, why don't they use him more to like help with the things going on? Like, he hasn't really helped with the Ironclad like order at all. He hasn't really fought anyone, at least that I can remember. He's mainly just fought the demons, right? The infernals. And he did fight a really strong like horned infernal, and that was great. That was a really cool fight, and there was a panel that was fucking insane on that, by the way. But he hasn't done anything for the story, despite him existing in like this supremely powerful way. Like, if he's so strong and he does have the ear and of Shinra and the other organizations, like they are friends, and he helps them train, why doesn't he just fucking help out himself? I know he's like, oh, I can't leave my village. Like, what if an infernal comes up? Bro, just like this, some shit is more important than your fucking village, like the entire world is at stake here, and everyone's just like just fucking blowing up around you, and you're just not helping really to the extent that you should. And it's just weird, man. And it just gets me thinking, like, these three characters I think are very fucking cool and really unique and have like a lot of mystery behind them, and they're just either not being used correctly, they're being used weirdly, or they're just not being used at all, and they're underexplained. I don't know, man. It feels like, I feel like Fire Force could be a top 5 anime for me of all time. Like, legit, could be a top 5 anime for me of all time if it deepened the story and the lore and the explained, gave some more insight on those three characters that I named, Joker, Captain Burns, and then Benimaru. But it seems like we're just not getting any information regarding them, and they're just bystanders of the grander story. And for me, I feel like it ruins the story just a little bit to drop it out of my top 5. I think it's somewhere like 7 or 8. I'm a normie, guys. I haven't seen a whole lot of anime. It's my goal to kind of watch more because I know there's a lot of great stories out there. But yeah, I don't know, man. What do you guys think, man? Also subscribe if you guys can, man. I'm at 190 subscribers, so I would love it if you guys did subscribe to my channel if you're watching this far. And comment down below if you guys have any differentiating thoughts. Is that the right word for it? Different thoughts than what I have, or if you agree.